sabi nga, wala ang masama rito. Pero kung ang attitude mo nga is para ipagyabang, iyon ang fun. Pero kung ang gusto mo naman, magkaroon lang ng magandang suot, kasuotan, para for your everyday use, na hindi mo pinagmamalaki, okay lang. Ano yung fun mo? Okay, ako ganito eh. Masama ang loob ko pag napapagastos akong mahal sa damit. Oh.
Guilt.
Kasi
Low vibe.
priority ko, ang values, depende ang values mo eh. Depende kung saan mas anong binavalue mo sa buhay eh. I value books more than anything else. I will not hesitate to spend 2,000 pesos for a 200-page book kung alam ko kailangan ko yung libro na yun o basahin.
Si Kuya Tats nabasa niya yung aking libro.
Any one there. I would buy it na walang sama na loob. Pero pag damit, 2,000. Kailangan ko ba yan?
Sapatos din, ano? Pareho din.
Okay, ganun eh. Although, ito lang nga ang ginawa ko. Because of this discovery of mine, taka muna, I cannot anymore allow myself to just, buy something cheap. Tapos, ito yung sasabihin kong, na pumupunta ako sa mga parties na kung saan yung mga kahalubilo ko eh, talagang mga yung mga elite.
Branded.
Sabihin na, itsura mo. Bakit ganyan ang nasuot mo? Siyempre, kailangan magbihis ka rin. So, I really changed my attitude about this. Pag bumili ako ng damit, minsanan lang. Pero mahal. Hindi na ako bumibili talaga ng mura. Bibili ako ng talagang, una-una ang mahal, matibay.
Ganda yung brand, yung quality.
Quality, yung mahal na. Yung quality, matagal masira. Tapos, maganda talaga ang texture ng pagkagawa. So, minsan lang ako bumili ng mahal. At, minsan lang ako bumibili ng mga bagong damit ko. At pag bumili ako, mahal talaga.
Quality.
Okay.
Una-una, quality talaga.
Pati sa mga sapatos ko. Pinakamura ko, mga brands sa sapatos ko, mga Floorshine, yung mga
Pergamo yan.
pero hindi, isa pa, yung
Bali.
letter H.
Hermes.
Hindi, basta
Papis.
basta hindi bababa ng 6,000 up.
$100 plus.
Ganun ang mga sapatos ko. Kasi matagal. So minsan lang ako bibili, pero matagal ang buhay, mahaba ang buhay.
Tsaka yung comfort nung sapatos,
Tsaka yung comfort ng
malalaman
sapatos.
ko.
Tsaka yung style, hindi ako yung masyadong trendy. Yung at least standard na hindi nalalaos. So ganun ako bumili. Pero nung medyo nagbatsuro, kabataan ko yun nung naggalon ako, na talaga, I can afford naman eh. So, talagang, I needed then, because ang mga karamihan na kasama ko na mga celebrities eh. So talaga I had to dress up to the occasion. So hindi pwedeng ukay-ukay yun. Kailangan talaga orig. So, okay. As the years passed, medyo hindi na ako ganun ka-social. Nagbago na rin yung call ko, yung outlook ko sa buhay. Hindi naman ako...
Yung spending niyo rin nagbago.
Oo, hindi naman. Pero basically, hindi na ako nahilig sa mga branded talaga. Kung mga tinitignan ko na yung quality, a lot of times I would go abroad. Kung ano yung, kunyari, nakita ko rito yung brand, magkano rito, pupunta ako sa Bangkok. Sa Bangkok,
Muro dun.
yung same brand sa mall, mura. Kasi doon ginagawa eh. Walang kwento eh. Kaya sabi ko doon ako bumibili sa gano'n. So anyway, gano'n lang ginagawa ko. Gano'n lang nangyari sa akin. But later on, nawala na yung brand sa akin. Hindi na ako masyadong nagbibigay ng value sa mga brands. And besides, yun na nga, I felt na pag medyo may mga material na clothes, na hindi ko masyadong masuot palagi dahil Makati. Yung hindi lahat na nasusuot ko hindi porque mahal ano sa katawan eh. Pero mga hindi ko may pagka-sensitive yung aking body. So I would go through the malls. Minsan talagang wala akong mabiling mas ano ko eh. Yung iba, nadidiscover ko, mura. Katulad nito. This is the kind of t-shirt that I can only wear na hindi ito masyadong mahal. Pero, yun na nga, I could only find this sa mga selected malls. No? Okay, sabi ko, sige, bibili na lang ako ng ganitong t-shirt. I will not anymore buy yung mga branded na yung mga polo, yung mga kuwan. So sabi ko, how can I make something of value? How can I make my t-shirts appear valuable na pero hindi siya mahal talaga? Okay. Ito yung ginawa ko. Nilagyan ko ng brand. Gumawa ko ng sarili kong logo. So I bought a lot of shirts, iba-ibang kulay, all the colors, meron ako. Nilagyan ko ng logo. Ako lang na meron ito. Whenever I would go to parties, I would wear this. I mean, they see it as something that,
And it promotes your philosophy.
Yung brand nyo.
yung brand ko, na hindi nila sasabihin na, ano yung suot mo? Bakit hindi nila yung suot mo?
And it strikes a conversation because they ask you what it is.
Whatever. Anyway, I'm just making this point just to emphasize what this ukay-ukay mentality is all about. So we have created a lot of fake people because of the popularity of ukay-ukay. Imbis na maging sila, yung totoo, authentic, fake sila. A lot of them, especially mga bata ngayon, no? Talagang yan ang nakikita natin. So, we would just like to tell them na hindi ito dahil sa may brand dyan na ganitong pangalan, yun ang kailangan mong suot para titinggaliin ka ng mga ibang tao, no? So, sabihin yung iba kasi parang pa-impressive talaga. So, anyway, I think I have emphasized my point already too much. But we can go back to this later on. The second, ito, interesting me ito. Ito
So I have a question before you go to the second topic. Can you share to our audience, now that we had established that we have that ukay-ukay mentality, what do you suggest? What would be the change?
Okay, all right. If you really want the quality clothes, the kind of, let's stick with clothes para at least walang ukay-ukay clothes. If you really insist on wearing quality clothes, you have to work to earn, to be able to afford. Kasi if you cannot afford, why would you now pretend that you can wear this when you cannot even, really buy it in the first place? So anong gagawin? Magnanakaw ka para lang magkaroon ka. Or punta ka doon sa fake na yun na nga brand pero fake. Di ba marami nagbebenta na din na fake. Andun yung brand pero alam mo galing sa fake. So it really creates the kind of mentality of a person na hindi na siya totoo talaga. Because yun na nga marami natin iniisip. Magayabang ako, papakita ng ko, this is who I am, pero fake ka.
But without the character.
Yeah,
Without the character.
Yeah, character, yes. You want to add?
Yeah. When we brag with things na hindi mo naman, you can't afford to buy it in the malls. What happens is we create people who are fake. That means what's the, nawala yung thought ko. Mga tao na they don't really work to afford those things. So what happens is that they brag on things that they really cannot afford buying.
Yeah.
So fake people without character,
That's true.
not hardworking people, not diligent people, not people who are working with their hands.
Yeah.
So yun po.
Yeah, okay, thank you, Pe. I mean, yun na nga eh. What kind of life will you have if you have that kind of an attitude?
Meron akong ano po,
Di ba?
true story.
Sige.
Auntie ko, galing ng Canada, naka-Rolex. Yung isa kong kamag-anak, totoo ba yan? Ginanon niya. Yan ang problema sa'yo, hindi niyo alam ang totoo, hindi.
Oo.
Ginanon niya, binaran niya kagad. Kasi nakikita niya, naka-Rolex siya, pero tinanong, kasi yun na nga, yung kayo kay mentality. Akala niya, ganun yung kanyang fake.
Di ba?
Pinahiyaan niya. Sabi niya, hindi mo kasi alam kung ano yung totoo. Hindi. Ginanon.
May
Ginanon siya
term
ng
sila
ate.
dun eh. Pirated yan. Ano?
Oo, pirated, fake.
So
in
that's
other
really
words,
ano.
what is it, ano ang effect niyan? Economy of our country is affected by it. Kasi imbis na masuportahan mo yung mga real businessmen who are selling the right products, eh binibili mo yung
At saka
fake.
baksakan tayo ng mga bulok na sasakyan, galing ng Japan, ano, di ba? Tapos
Diba?
kita mo, puro
Ganyan
uso.
tayo eh. Imbis na gumanda yung quality of life of a person, we would settle for something na ano talaga. And it will affect all the other areas in our life. Even in our relationships.
Pati nga yung mga kalsada, gagamitin nilang material.
Yung talagang mediocre. Oo.
Alam mo yung may ano lang ako. Quality living depends on your personal definition of your
Yeah,
quality.
your values.
Diba?
Okay.
Ang problema kasi nga, people take other people's definition of what quality is
Exactly.
for them. Kaya yung mga branded, quality to. Kaya yun, nagiging peke. Di ba?
Peke.
And sa akin naman, ang point ko dyan is, if you cannot afford, then buy something that you can afford.
Exactly.
Na pwede mong ipagmalaki.
Ako,
Hindi yung
I
bibili ka ng
created
maipagmamalaki mo,
that.
pero peke pala.
And then work for it.
Yeah, tama yung sinasabi niya. No? You work for it.
Work for it.
Pero hindi lang kasi sa kanya hindi lang sa okay kasi yan eh. Makikita mo na rin yan with other things in the household.
Actually,
I think it should be part of
as I go
Sige, tuloy mo.
palabas lahat yan.
Kasi
Okay,
yung
okay.
relo, kasi Rolex na, tapos yung yun, hindi na gumagalaw. Kung nalaglag yung
Bumabalik.
yung second hand.
So I wanted to summarize what Kuya Tats were saying. So instead of buying something that's secondhand, if you want something that's branded, essentially what he's saying is you work for it. Find an opportunity where, you're able to afford the real thing if that's what you really wanted. So we're moving on. Second topic. Biglang yaman mentality.
Yeah. Now, we go now to the second mentality of
Ilan po yan
Filipinos.
ito?
Biglang yaman.
7 yan.
Kaya, 7 ito. Kaya maraming
Kailangan
tumataya sa
more than
luto.
Oh,
Ayan.
that's
Diba?
why.
Biglang yaman. Hindi sila magtatrabaho. Gusto nila biglang
Oh
yaman.
my
Mga
God.
Bibigyan ko kayo ng magandang buhay.
Oo.
Tatay ko yun.
So,
Balit pa.
ang
Like,
dami natin problema talaga sa ating kamalayan.
Consciousness.
Dahil nga sa ganitong klaseng mentalidad. Biglang
Yeah.
yaman mentality. Mga nagsusugal. Ano pa? Nagnanakaw. Mga corrupt. Yung inaputan, government employee, binigyan ng malaking halaga para lang aprobahan yung papel. Tapos, alam niya mali. Pero sasabihin niya, sayang dito, laban sa dito eh.
That's the
Hindi
mentality.
ko lang ibigay.
Mangungutang sa botohan.
That's the
Mangungutang
mentality.
Sa botohan, para magbigay ng babayad ng boto, para makuha nila yung pera na yun, pag sila
Exactly.
naluklok na.
Exactly. So, in other words, gusto natin, lumarating sa atin yung biyaya na hindi naman natin deserve. O hindi natin pinagpaguran, o hindi natin ginawa, or pinagtrabahuhan. So practically, this is what is really pulling us down, o putting us down. This biglang yaman mentality. Marami ba? Ano pa mga example sa makikita nyo? Bakit ang mga tao ay, yung nga, sabi nga nila, tamad ng tao ang Pilipino. Naghihintay na lang ng ano ba yung simbolo ng tamad, yung si Juan Tamad, nakaupo, nakahiga sa ilalim ng
Puno.
Puno na
Bayabas.
bayabas, hinihintay lang nga, bumagsak yung bayabas sa bibig niya.
One tamad.
Juan Tamad.
Yun ang itsura ni Juan Tamad nakabukas yung bibig
Oh
niya,
my
hindi lang niya
gosh.
mahulog yung, imbis na pitasin,
Oh my
hindi niya
goodness.
mahulog yung,
Alam mo, bihira na yata kinukwento yung mga
Ginagamit,
ganyan.
ito hindi ka na-emphasize to sa atin, bakit tayo nagkakaganito Yan yung corruption ngayon, ito yung pinaka root cause of it Gusto biglang yumaman Pupunta ng politiko ngayon. Kasali sa magiging senador o congressman.
Congress.
Dahil may pangalan, para lang kumita.
It's all about
Diba?
the money.
Pork barrel, whatever. Nakikita naman natin ngayon, ang dami na naman nagsasabi na, magkakandidato ako ngayon ng pagkasenador. Sa showbiz, ang dami na nag-start na. All because of, yes, alright, anyway, marami tayo talagang makikitang problema dahil dyan sa mentalidad na ganito.
Okay, so before you move
Sige.
on to the third topic, what would you suggest people would do?
Okay, yun na nga, turuan natin na ang tao ay hindi talaga nagkakaroon ng ganong klaseng pag-unlad na hindi pinaplano, hindi pinag-aaralan kung anong magagawang maganda. Hindi yung akala niya ang mga biyaya lumalabas na lang, which is
We create,
that is another secret
we
that
create
teach.
our
Pero
blessing, by the way.
all you need to do first is to define who you are.
Yes.
Sino ka ba?
If you don't know who
Ano
you are,
ang
you're lost.
pagkakaalam mo sa sarili mo? Ano ang kakayahan mo? Ano ang magpapasaya sa iyo? Ano yung gusto mong gawin na masaya ka? Huwag mong gawin yung ayaw mo. Huwag mong gawin yung trabahong
Yeah.
hindi mo talaga kusunada dahil lang yun ang malaking pera ang pwedeng ibigay. Magsimula ka sa isang bagay lang din and enjoy mo. And somehow, kahit pa paano, magsimula ka ng maliit,
Yeah.
lalaki at lalaki yan.
Yeah.
Tutubo at tutubo yan. Dahil nakikita nila na maganda yung ginagawa mo. Pinaghirapan, susuportahan ka dyan. So ang dami kasi, nag-iisip na, wala kasi mangyayari dito sa gusto ko wala namang bumibili ng ganito kung gusto mo yan, panindigan mo.
Yeah.
Somehow, many of those who became very successful, like sila Steve Jobs, sino pa naman na may kusulada ng ginagawa nila? Yung calligraphics, yung sa mga tiles na nakikita nila. But because of that interest that they had, na wala naman talagang pera pa doon, nag-connect yung mga ideas niya, and he was able to develop the anong ni Steve Jobs, yung company niya, yung Apple, di ba? Doon ang galing lang yun doon sa interest niya,
Creativity.
doon sa maliit na yun So practically we have to look for that what is it that we really are enthusiastic about, that will really make us wake up in the morning excited, enthusiastic, happy. Ito yung nagbibigay sa aking araw ng kasiyahan. Kahit na walang bumibili nito, basta ako gagawin ko ito dahil gusto ko If you are a dancer, dance. If you're a singer, sing. If you're a Ang actor, act. Di ba? Ibig sabihin, ano talaga yung gusto mo? Kung talaga natural sa'yo yan, gift, lalo na kung gift pa yan, i-develop mo. Huwag ka makinig sa ibang tao na sasabihin nila na, uy, wala namang pera dyan, huwag mong gawin yan. Ganun ang ginagawa natin eh. Kasi gusto nga, ang ginawa sa ating eskwelahan, ng ating eskwelahan, nag-aral ka ng ganitong course, kahit na ayaw mo yan, dahil yan yung may pera.
Pera.
Diyan kakikita ng malaki. Maraming nurse, maraming kumuha ng nursing dahil gusto lang pumunta sa Amerika o mag-abroad. Hindi naman nila,
Sinabi ng
hindi
nanay.
naman talaga nila gusto maging nurse. O hindi naman talaga nila hilig. Takot pa nga sa dugo.
Oh my God.
Sinabi ng nanay para
Oo.
makapunta tayo Amerika, anak. Ikaw na
So
lang
ano
pumunta.
ang talagang
Nurse ka.
nangyayari sa mga tao natin, sa mga kababayan natin? They're unhappy. Many of the OFWs are there. Just because, yun na nga, akala nila yun lang, wala silang choice, yun lang ang pwede nilang gawin. Gusto lang nila biglang yumaman. So they took that opportunity, pero they're very unhappy. Kawawa sila. They get sick
True.
later on.
That's true,
So
yeah.
many stories.
Ako siguro may dadagdag ko dyan is yung biglang yaman kasi na concept. The way you presented it is coming from a very deep motivation for wealth.
Yeah.
Okay, and why is that the norm?
Ito yan. May pinanggalingan.
Yeah.
Scarcity.
Yan. Mentality.
We think of a scarcity instead of abundance. Bakit ka nag-iisip ng limitasyon when in fact, ang dami mong pwedeng gawin with your potential? This is exactly why we are suffering, because we concentrate more on the small, the few, the little,
Than what is
Than-
unlimited.
And
What is
yeah,
there
focus
outside?
dun sa loss kagad before the
oo,
abundance.
pinanganak na kasi ako mahirap eh.
Yeah.
The way you speak, the way you act,
Kasi ito lang yung aming kinagisnan.
you embed scarcity
Kaya
mindset.
Ito lang
That's
yung
what
kaya
it is.
namin. Hindi ako nakapag-aral, kaya ganito lang ako. Nanimit ka ngayon.
You
So,
limit yourself.
naniwala ka na hanggang doon ka lang. So, wala nangyayari sa buhay mo because of this scarcity.
Yung
mentality.
sa uncle ko naman, di baling mag-deal na kami ng asin. Hindi ako lalabas ng bansa para umunlad.
Oh, yun lang nga. Magdidil
So
din
That
ako.
hanggang ngayon,
mentality.
yung mga apo niya, nagdidil-dil pa rin ng asin.
Oh. Pero kung asindero ko sana,
Oo,
okay lang.
nag-pass on doon sa anak niya, pati apo niya, ganun din ang nangyayari.
Pero,
So, I think,
alam mo tuloy yung, if you teach, ano yun? If you give a man a fish, he will eat fish for the day. Di ba? If you teach him how to fish, he will fish forever.
pero yun yung nangyari. Yung parang nakikita ko ganun ang nangyari sa mga kamag-anak ko na ganun, na naghirap.
Yeah.
Kasi yung ninuno nila, ganun ang mentality.
Oo, kaya nga eh.
Kaya hindi sila...
Napalaganap
risk
sa
anything.
kanilang pamilya o sa kanilang grupo o sa kanilang kamag-anak na ito lang tayo.
Alam mo, yung masakit na karugtong kasi doon, pag may kamag-anak na mas nakakaangat, may malalapitan naman kami.
Oo.
Which is, again,
May tagasalong.
Oo, parang hindi nape-perpetuate na ang buhay nila is dependent on
Yun yung,
others.
Yun yung pangako ng mga politiko. Yan sabi, boto mo ako lang bahala sa buhay mo. Tutulungan kita. Huwag ka nang mga problema. Basta boto mo lang ako. Oh, ngayon, ang daming umasa. Binoto nila kung sino man yung presidente, sino man
Yun na nga ako.
senador na ako nila.
Yung bigas, magiging
Ito
20
lang,
pesos.
lately lang. Sabi nga nung isang binibilang ko nung whatever. Sabi niya, ay, hindi ko na iboboto itong si Robin Padilla. Sabi ko, bakit? Binoto mo? Sabi, bakit mo ba binoto? Eh kasi akala ko gaganda yung buhay ko eh. Yung pala, wala nangyari sa amin. Wala palang alam siya. Ganun, yung mga ganun salita. Sabi ko, napaka-ano talaga. I mean, ganun siya nagsasabi ng ganitong mga nangyari sa kanya because it's true. Akala ng mga pangako sa kanila mangyayari. Hindi pala nangyayari. And up to now, nandiyan pa rin mga false promises. Mag-election na naman tayo. Are we going to repeat again the same things that had happened to us in the past? Na alam na natin, wala nangyari. Pero hanggang ngayon, hindi pa rin tayo natututo eh. Paulit-ulit, ayan pa rin. The kind of quality of politicians we have are dependent on the quality of people who vote for them. So ito yung talagang nakikita natin. A majority of them are thinking that way. Ilan lang tayo talaga na nag-iisip na iba. Karamihan dyan, mang talaga na wala talagang alam.
Expecting something.
Oo, they would just
change their
expect it.
lives.
Hindi natin sila pinuput down. Pero basically, this is the reality.
Tapos magaling pa yung humawak ng
Kaya nga, ang gusto nila sa mga tao, ang gusto ng mga politiko talaga, alam nila eh. Gusto nila manatiling mahirap ang mga tao.
Yeah.
Kasi makokontrol nila. Kasi pag yumaman yan, hindi na nila makokontrol yan eh. Wala na boto sa kanila eh. Question? Di ba? Yan ang talagang reality natin.
But,
Yes.
ang observation ko lang, kasi lumaki ako, mahirap kami. Yung hirap na yun, bakit hanggang ngayon nadarama pa rin ang taong bayan? Now, obviously, ang sinasabi natin kasi yung mga politiko never did what they were supposed to do to the people, di ba? Ang key question ngayon dyan is, okay, na-observe ko to. I'm 69 years old. When I was young, $2 pesos to $1 ang exchange rate. What happened? Siyempre, if you trace back history, alam mo naman kung ano nangyari. Again, yung politics natin is one of the biggest reason kung bakit hanggang ngayon nandun tayo sa ilalim.
Exactly.
Now, question now is, what can I do?
That's it. That's
Diba?
why I'm doing this.
Yan, tama yan. Kasi mamaya, meron din akong sasabihin after you. Answering that particular question, what can I
What can
do?
I do?
Because if you tell people what they should do, they don't do it.
Kasi
You might as well tell yourself what you can do and do it.
Kung tatahimik na lang ako, at ito yung mga hindi ko isi-share,
Ay, sasabihin sa marami, mag-abroad na lang.
Oo.
May problema ka? Mag-abroad
Oo,
ka?
mag-abroad ka.
Kaya ako gumagawa ng ganito dahil nga kahit na sino yung makinig sa akin, lika.
Yun ang way out eh, mag-abroad eh. Nung ako'y lumalaki noon, sige, gusto mong gumanda ang buhay mo, mag-abroad ka. Imbis na mag-isip ka ng bagay na ano. Kasi yun ang nagiging trend noon, especially during the Saudi time.
Yun yung sasabihin ko, actually, hindi mag-abroad.
Yes,
Mag-Saudi ka.
Mag-Saudi ka.
Yun yung term nun eh.
Tama. Okay, Aramco.
You're about to say something, Jay.
I wanted to add something because eventually I'm gonna post this, and I wanted to speak in English because it's going to be not only for Filipinos. I think non-Filipinos also have the same issue, right?
Yeah.
Not just Filipinos. In America, we have the same problem, but it goes back to what I learned in corporate. Everything has to start from the top. The tone at the top should be changed, which is exactly what you're saying, where the politicians and leaders of the country are not doing what they're supposed to do to change the mentality of the people because they have their own agenda to keep us all slave, so that we're not so that if they kept us busy, then we're not able to really know who we are. And if we know who we are, then we can take actions related to, number one, we have to take action. We have to find out who we are, what we like to do, and use that use that unique gifts and talents to generate income, to generate revenue, and stick to that. Stick to it, no matter how hard it is, no matter what the other people around you are saying about that. Just stick to it. And when you step in your power and you do what you're supposed to do, because you do have, every one of us has unique gifts and talents, and you have to know what that is for you. A lot of times we don't know until we had the time to really reflect on what our gifts and talents are. Now, when we get to find out what the gifts and talents are, then you step in your power, the universe will support you. You will be guided, you will be protected, but you have to take that first step. You cannot be scared, you cannot be in fear mode. So I just want to add that. So number 4, what would be number 4?
So who is the target group of generations, the young people,
The young
to
people.
change
Young
this?
people.
Diba? Kasi the older people, it's like hard to teach
Kamag-anak,
the dog new tricks.
incorporated.
Kamag-anak mentality.
Kamag-anak mentality is another kind of mentality that we have.
This is what you're saying, Kuya?
Kayo.
That's what you're saying?
Sila,
Like
sila.
you
Tayo.
rely on...
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Kaya kita mo ngayon, dynasty, ang mga
Mm.
political factions sa atin dito. Kami-kami lang. Imagine, sa Senado ngayon, puro magkakapatid.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Wala na bang iba?
Really.
Bakit-
recycle ulit.
Bakit kapatid?
What are we
Bakit
empowered
kamag-anak? Ano ang,
So,
ano ang ibig sabihin yan?
Di ba may word po doon pag yung mga kapatid, kamag-anak, pinasok mo sa government?
Nepotism.
Nepotism, yeah, that's the
Oo.
one.
And di ba? That's exactly what we are doing now. We are a very nepotistic country. Puro kamag-anak ang gusto natin iluklok sa ating, well, kung may family business ka, walang problema. Family business yan eh. But even now, family businesses are really hiring mga outsiders from their family. Kasi nakikita nila, mga family members sila, wala naman palang interest sa family business sila eh. Pero they're there because they're tasked to do it. Pinipilit nila.
You know, there's something which I remember na how it will relate to what you're saying.
Sige.
In Ifugao, di ba andun yung rice terraces natin? Ngayon, yung buong rice terraces has not been maintained the way it should have been maintained. So, bakit? Kasi yung mga anak ng mga ninuno doon, they chose to go down to, kasi nag-aral eh. Ano na ako, ma-engineer na ako, dapat sa ano na ako. And so, technically, the entire, the entire village, the entire local, nagkaroon ng problema ngayon dun sa rice terraces natin. Nasira yung mga na hindi nagagawa kasi yung mga matatanda na gumawa doon, nawala na.
Patay na eh.
Alright.
I don't know how that,
Tama.
di ba?
Hindi na
Hindi,
maintain
ganito
niya
yan
kasi.
eh. Binabago kasi ng ibang, okay. Remember, let's stick it out with mountain province people. Alam mo ang kultura talaga sa lugar nila dati. Ang mga babae dyan, ay mga nakabahag, di ba? Ang mga lalaki, nakabahag.
Native clothes nila.
Native clothes sila. Ang mga babae, topless. Topless. Sabihin ko lang, bra, wala ano.
Topless o tapis?
Topless talaga. That's why yung mga...
Noon.
Noon.
Walang mali siya no?
Walang mali siya. Sino ang nagbago ng kultura nila? Mga misyonero.
Going back
Yung
to...
mga nagpunta ron, na-scandalize to, nakita nila na nakahubad yung mga babae na kwan. Nilagyan ng damit. So nagbago lang yun. Wala ka na makikita ng lorota na nakatapulas. And in fact, originally, walang mali siya sa kanila. That's what they used to be wearing. Okay, aside from I just talked about that kind of ano. Pero ano pa yung binago nila? Tinulungan nila to develop the community, to enhance their livelihood, whatever. Pero nawala yung kanilang tradition. Nawala na yung kanilang original na paniniwala. Binago lahat. So, na-westernize. Ganun na nangyari. Doon sa, yun na, sagot doon sa ano mo, na-westernize na lahat. So, practically, nothing was left in terms of their tradition. That's exactly what religion did to a lot of countries. They eliminated a lot of all the beliefs that they had, and then they incorporated sa minds ng mga bata only what they wanted
Yung agenda
those
nila.
people to believe in. So nabago nila yung mindset. A lot of them talagang hindi naman sila ganito, pero nangyari is katulad tayo sa Philippines. We were not really Catholics. We were not really we were only
Christians.
taught about
Christians.
being Christians from the Spaniards.
Yeah.
Ano tayo dati? We were actually
Muslims, you know.
or mga natives, yung mga ibang mga tribes natin, like yung mga Aita, hindi naman sila Muslim. Yung mga ano, so practically they have their own culture. Na-indoctrinate lang tayo. No? Kagaya ngayon, wala tayong Philippine culture talaga eh, na masasabing sariling atin eh, because ano na tayo eh, yung na
Nag-evolve. Maybe the
hindi
word.
nag-evolve, kumbaga na-colonize tayo.
Colonized.
So,
Indoctrinated.
tatlo nag-colonize sa atin eh. Spain, Japan, and the US.
Yep.
And so, practically, now we're at a loss as to who we are as a people. Because nawala yung pagka-Asian natin. We're the only Asian country that is not Asian in Asia. Because we're
Spanish.
too westernized.
Yeah.
Hindi tayo katulad ng mga taga-Thailand na nakip nila yung
Mga
culture
Vietnam,
nila.
mga Vietnamese. Right?
Oo.
I wanted to add something. It's when you're telling the story, it reminds me of an incident I had when I was in one of the countries that I visited. The Uber driver actually is I think I was in Australia on the way to the port. So the driver said, "Are you Thai?" I said, "No, I'm Filipino." And he said, "Oh, okay. I was in the Philippines back in the 70s. I studied there." And then he started, I learned so much from him because I didn't know this. Like, yung sabi niya na the Filipinos, they wanted to be westernized like people in the United States, but this is like a slap in the face. He said, but the Filipinos are not ready for it.
Yeah. We're not
It's
ready
so
for it.
true.
Nahilaw tayo eh.
It's so true.
Yeah, nahilaw nga tayo talaga. I mean, we're trying hard to become like them. Kaya nga, up to now, even our music, pag sinabi mong OPM, we don't know exactly what OPM is all about. Is it, Americanized music or westernized or kundi man or whatever. So, yun lang pa natin. Anyway, so maglalasyo tayo pero I will just, so ito, malaking problema ito because right now, we don't trust other people except our relatives. That's why sa politics.
Can you also get to, for example, yung mga Ilocano, Kapampangan?
Oh yeah, yun na nga.
That's another thing.
Yun na nga,
Culturistic.
regionalistic. Naging regionalistic tayo.
Pag Bisaya, boboto ko to, Bisaya to.
Kaya, yun na nga. This is that's part of
I
it.
see.
Yun na nga, naging, kamag-anak, kababayan.
Kababayan, yeah.
Probinsya.
Nasalita
So-
ka language.
So even though they're not really qualified because they are, from the same.
No, that's why na pati
I see.
taga Mindanao sasabihin, ito ang boboto namin dahil taga Mindanao.
Kasi
I see.
pag Mindanao or let's say Kapampangan, sila yung magiging maganda yung bridges namin, yung mga roads natin kasi kamag-anak or
I see. They're gonna focus
they're
on.
gonna vote because of
I
that
see,
para
I
gumanda
see.
yung lugar.
Oh my
Nangyayari
goodness.
sa atin.
Yeah,
Instead
yeah.
na isipin nila kung anong gagawin ng
Oo.
politician na yon, they will be now focus on their own location lang.
Mm.
Good
Okay,
point.
anyway.
Good point.
So,
Number 5.
Kaya nga lumabas yung federalism.
Ito pa yun. Sabi nga ng Koreans, Filipinos don't love their country. Sabi ng Koreans.
Pakitang tao mentality.
ayan, kinalaman ito sa lahat dito sa mga yung pagka-fake, pakitang tao, panlabas. Di ba, ang Pilipino, pag kumakain sa bahay, ano yung mga plato, ay, huwag mo gamitin yung mga magagandang pang-bisita yan.
Yung salad master pang display
Mga
yan.
pang-display.
Gagamitin natin yung
Mga pinagkakainan natin, yung mga luma, yung mga yung mga magaganda.
Oh
hindi natin
my
ginagamit.
God.
Oh, bakit? Pakita tao, naku baka masira yun.
Naka-display dun sa
Wala tayong pang sa mga bisita natin. Pang-bisita lang yan. Sabihin nyo,
Oh my
pakitang tao lang
goodness.
itong gagawa natin. Hindi natin binabuo. Bakit hindi natin ma-enjoy yung mga dapat natin
Yes.
papakita sa ibang tao?
Yung masarap na mangga doon sa mga bisita, yung mga
Di ba?
Oh my gosh.
Anong klaseng tao tayo talaga?
Oh,
Pakitang
man.
tao. So practically, we have really this big problem with
Yeah.
us. Tayo,
Consciousness.
problema, hindi naman
Yeah.
ang problema mo eh.
Authenticity.
Authenticity,
That's the problem.
Exactly. Tama ka.
Yun eh, if you will summarize that kay lang yaman, that's yung lack of character.
Lack of character.
authenticity.
But the values kasi, we are not being taught the right values. We were trying to create the values that we feel na akala natin ito yung gusto natin o makakabuti sa atin. When in fact, mas nakakasama. Anyway, marami, okay, ano pa bang magandang example sa pakitang tao? Yun nga. Okay, sa bagay ako, I can always say, I am a different person to different people. I am not always the same Tato Malay to everyone. Kasi, I don't show who I am to a kid. Kasi, if I talk to a kid, I will adjust to the level of the kid para lang ako maka-communicate sa kanya. Hindi pwede gano'n. So sa mga groups of people or mga nami-meet natin, you adjust to what or to who they are. Kahit pa paano. You still maintain yourself, pero somehow, you only show kung ano yung relevant sa nangyayari ngayon. Kasi a lot of times, people will get shocked sa akin kung bigla akong magsabi kung ano yung mga alam ko sa Kamalayan. Ba naman ito, weird naman itong taon to. So nakikibagay muna ako, tinitingnan ko muna rin. So
Yeah.
hindi naman, pwede ba na sabihin pakitang tao yun, pakitang pero in a right way. Pero yung pakitang tao na negative is yun nga, yung sana na-enjoy mo, pero hindi mo na-enjoy. Katulad ng pag piyesta. Pag piyesta, maghahanda ka. Eh wala kang pera. Mangungutang ka ngayon. Para lang meron kang ma-prepare na pagkain. Eh sabihin na kayo, wala tayong inanda. Oo, may piyesta. O di, bakit ganun? Ibig sabihin, hindi ka na, may kulang na sa pagkatao mo dahil hindi ka nakapaghanda sa piyesta. Nakakahiya ba yun? Ay, nakakahiya. Anong sasabihin na lang nila?
That's
Ano yung
true.
sasabihin ni Kumare?
Oo.
Ni Kumare.
Ayun nagpapakita
That's true.
plastikan, gano'n.
Oh my
But
God.
sometimes may positive yun.
Ano pong pagkain gusto niyo? Bibili siya.
Ay.
Vegetarian to eh.
Sige, hindi. Sige.
Kasi walang tindahan.
Filipino time. Ano ibig sabihin ng Filipino time? Late.
Yes, mañana
Ano yung
habit.
sabihin?
Ako, hindi na nagbago yan.
Bakit late? Ibig sabihin, you are not respectful.
Yes, so
You are not respecting the agreed time. Wala kang respeto Yun lang yung ibig sabihin na pag hindi mo, if you're always late, wala kang respeto sa kausap mo. Hindi mo...
On the way na ako, nasa Cavite.
Hindi ba?
Sikap yan ang ginagawa.
Alas 7 na usapan on the way.
Tinatanggap natin itong Filipino time
Naliligo pa.
as something na nandiyan na yan. Pero actually, it all boils down to respect. Wala kang respeto doon sa kausap ng tao.
Sa putek,
Yun lang
alis
yun.
na dyan. Sa Amerikano.
And anong klaseng tao ka kung hindi ka marunong magbigay ng respeto? Exactly. What is it that we need to really change? Alam?
Tsaka yung pa-importante nandyan din.
Oo, pa-importante ka. Kaya, naku, baka
Late
ako,
ka dumating.
pag dumating ako maaga, naku,
Oo.
ano ko, parang...
Parang desperado ka doon.
Ako pa
Ano pa
maghihintay sa inyo.
Oh, yeah.
Ako pa maghihintay sa
So,
inyo.
nag-iintayan.
Oo.
Meron pa sa mga networkers.
No.
Okay? May usapan kayo, alas 10. Hindi siya magpapauna. Kasi pag ikaw ang una, ikaw ang magbabayad, ikaw ang maglilibre.
Ikaw ang lilito.
Ganon?
Oo, sa restaurant.
Oo,
Kung ikaw
dami
nasa
kong
restaurant,
experience na ganyan.
ikaw una. Ibig sabihin, parang ikaw
Ikaw
ang
taya.
nag-imbita.
Ikaw taya. Oo.
Oh.
May mga ganyan.
Wala, hindi yun, di ba sabi lang yung Dutch Street, di ba, pag mga sa US, hati-hati talaga. Kung
Dapat.
yung kasama nyo. Hindi, nag-aantayan kung sino maglalabas.
Oh my
Ikaw
gosh.
nagkumbita eh.
Alam-
Ikaw, parang gano'n, di ba? At siyempre, pag
Yes.
ikaw namumbita,
Sige.
dapat maaga ka.
I wanted to add something to that because I've experienced that with a friend who's a different ethnic background. Sa kanila, this friend is an Indian actually. You can really see the difference. And I'm sure not all Indians are like that. I'm not going to stereotype. But he said that when they invite people, like when they gather in a restaurant to eat, ano sila, yung unahan sa pagbabayad.
Baligtad.
Baligtad.
Tama naman.
Kesa dito sa atin, dito.
Garantayan kung sino yung bubulot.
So, hindi mo mauna.
Yeah.
Tama. Eh kasi nga, talagang, marami. Pinaghalo-halo na lahat yan eh.
Meron
But
akong-
why is
Go
that
ahead.
though? I mean, why is that?
Sa
Like,
ibang
shouldn't
lugar,
we
sa
be...
networking na experience ko, pag ikaw ang upline, ikaw ang magbabayad. Lagi ikaw ang leader
But,
ang magbabayad.
okay, you're an upline, but then you have the responsibility to teach your team that this is a
But
business.
that's the culture already.
No,
So,
you
tayo
are
pag
at the
ano,
top. You set the tone at the top,
Mhm.
and you teach. It doesn't matter what's being done out there, but you have something to do with that. Because if you're going to go down that path, then they're just gonna keep
teach them that
assuming.
they still
Accepted
don't,
na yun.
ano,
That's-
They don't want to follow that rule.
Yeah, to add to it's not actually to add, but this is what I do. Okay, because I also do seminars, and when I talk about Filipino time, I define it differently. The definition of Filipino time for me, which I tell them that you should be adopting, is you should be 15 minutes earlier. Why? Because in 15 minutes, there's so much that you can do. There's a lot that you can do, that you can prepare, you relax, and everything. Now, the other thing na tinuturo ko dyan, which is more compelling, is when you are late in my seminar, you cannot enter immediately. You have to wait. Why?
Sure, you know.
Because I am already doing something that I don't want to be disturbed.
Yep, it's
But
disrespectful.
stay outside, they will let you in at the appropriate time. So when my participants come in on the second day, sigurado yan, maaga
On
sila
time.
kasi
Yeah.
ayaw malate
That's
eh.
good. That's
Oo.
good.
And then when I did the young people, college students, no? Maraming late. Marami silang late. So they stay there for probably about an hour.
Wow.
Kasi may module na eh.
Yeah.
Yung
Then I get them
break
back.
time, sila papasok sa break.
So when I get them back, they all sit in front. And then I process. I process like, what happened? Now, in my seminars, may buddies yan eh.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's say you're buddies, no? Pag late yung buddy mo, ikaw ang kakastigahin ko.
Yep.
Anong nangyari? You didn't take care of your buddy.
Yeah.
So, it's all about responsibility as well.
Accountability.
Respect, responsibility, and accountability. That's what I'm doing now with the seminars. Para mabago yung Filipino time. Kasi nagkaroon ako na experience talaga with a Japanese client many years ago. Alam mo, late ako for some reason. Tawag ito, nasa Las Piñas, yung office niya. I came from Makati. I didn't expect, traffic was bad at that particular day. Na-late ako. So, nung na-late ako, sabi nung secretary, oy, kanina ko pa inaantay. Oo nga. Sorry talagang ganito. Anyway, finally, pinapasok na ako. Alam mo yung Japanese na kausap ko. Iba yung ballpen. Pak! 3 times. Hiyang-hiya ako. Alam mo yung kung pwede lang ipasok ko yung isa puwet ko. Nahiyang-hiya talaga ako doon. Grabe. From that point on, sabi ko, wow. I learned my lesson. And that's why, sabi ko nga ngayon dito, yun yung tinuturo. You should be 15 minutes ahead. Hindi pa traffic eh. Hindi gumising ka maaga.
Yun ang ano.
Oh. Pag-process ko nga eh, hindi naglagay yung alarm clock eh. O di dapat, sinabihan mo yung katulog mo. Singit ka. Find the solution. It's not find a reason.
Excuse.
And many people, basta na-explain ka kasi, okay na sa kanila eh. It doesn't work that way. Life doesn't work that way.
Yung sa US noon, yung may mga namita ko, sabi na, if you're early, you're on time.
Mm-hmm.
If you're on time, you're late.
You're late.
If you're late, it's a sin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yun ang kanila. Kasi when you're late, unang-una, there is no parking lot. You're gonna be more later kasi you're gonna have to look for
parking.
Kasi the parking lots are already filled up by the ones that came in on time or earlier. So now, the worst thing is, you're gonna get worse scenario kasi, and then the seats are already taken and the best seats are taken. So you can end up on the far away area, and then some people will probably just quit. In network marketing to, so sinasabi nung isang leader, see that's why if you're late, then you really need to adjust. Like sabi nyo, in traffic. So if you know it's traffic, you have to 2 hours early ka dapat. So anything happen on the road, lalo na malayong nanggalingan mo, there's construction, there's detour. So now you can't make that as an excuse anymore. Kasi you already know it's always traffic in Manila. So those are the things. So yun.
Okay, anyway, last one. Which is the most popular Filipino mentality.
Ilan?
What is that? Isn't that the same time as
Filipino
Filipino
crabs.
time? What does that mean?
If you put crabs in a bucket, one crab will try to get out of the bucket, the other crab will
Tatapakan mo
grab.
ibang tao para ka makaangat.
Yeah, that's why they call it crab mentality. Because the
That's
crab
how
will
it
grab
is.
you
Okay.
to go back down.
Actually, alright, we are doing a great disservice sa mga crabs. Because basically, you know,
Sorry, crab.
imbis na yung interpretation natin na ganun nga, na tatapakan sila para makaangat yung isa.
Tatapakan
o, diba? Actually, you know, the way crabs do it, you know, they pile up on one side para matapol yung basket, tumumba.
See,
So
there's a
all of them
different-
can get
different-
out.
different
Yun
meaning
ang
pala
talagang
yun.
purpose kung bakit nag-ano sila to really just
So
topple
they
the
all can
basket.
escape.
So all of them can escape. Hindi yung isa lang ang makakaano, o dalawa o ilan lang yung makakaangat, tatapakan yung iba. Actually lahat yan, tinatapak para lang tumumba yung
So yun pala yung other version.
Yun ang talagang
Yung crab.
version.
That's the true crab mentality.
That's the real
That's the
mentality
true,
that we should
the
adopt.
real.
Hindi
Yeah.
yung
Kaya they
tapakan.
were helping the other guy to go up there, and then he will pull them
pull you down.
going up instead of the other guy pulling them down.
Oo. Ang gusto natin is talagang tapakan ng iba o hilahin yung iba
Oh,
bumaba
no.
para makaangat tayo. That's what we used to do. We always
This is a true story. In Los Angeles, they open up Barrio Fiesta, the name of the restaurant, and it's packed all the time, right? 2 months later on, another Filipino open another store, Fiesta sa Barrio. Another 3 months later on, another one, Fiesta sa Barrio ni Nanay. Okay? Tatlong puro Fiesta sa Barrio. Nagsara lahat. Kasi they were all competing, nagsisiraan. We recycle yung pagkain dyan and everything. So that is like they call that the crime mentality. Kasi
sakit ang Pilipino.
instead, yun ang ano.
Oh my goodness.
Even in Los Angeles, dinala nila yun. Kaya yun, wala sila lahat ng business. Kasi
I think yung crab mentality na most people, I think, know, is that when somebody is rising, when somebody is becoming successful, they throw,
stones.
you know, di ba? Ganun yun.
Kaya nga gusto nila, pinapasikat nila ang mga ibang tao para meron silang titirahin later.
Titirahin. So, yung
Oh my
point na
gosh.
pag umaangat na isang tao, kasi yung story ng crab mentality na yun, it's about a pot of crabs, no? When somebody tries to go up, they pull him down. That's why you don't have to cover. That's where the story lies. You don't have to cover because no one will escape. They all pull each other down. Di ba? So yun yung story
So
behind
yung
it.
95% broke, nandun sila lahat.
Ngayon, binago ko yun, Chong. Sabi ko, there's a new breed of Filipino crabs I know. And these crabs, when they are being pulled down by other crabs, he pulls them up all together. But that requires hard work, that requires your
Good point.
principles, that
Yep.
requires a lot of guts coming from you. But the positive thing about it is you have that opportunity. Even if you only bring one up with you.
Yun ang ginagawa natin dito sa
Yeah.
This is what we're doing.
Uplift everyone. We try to uplift everyone. Anyway, so basically you can see here already a lot of things why we are like this, why Filipinos are the way they are, or the way we are.
So if you look at the Chinese, they're saying once somebody go down, they will help that
Yeah.
person.
Actually, ang
Even the
Chinese,
Koreans are like that.
they, for example, di ba tayo, isa ang nangangailangan. The other four will support this one.
Yeah.
Ganon sila eh. Hindi sila yung, wag mo lang ano yun, wala yan, bayaan mo na yan. Walang ganon eh. Sa kanila, the other four will support the one who is in need. Ganon ang Chinese.
Andun din yung kanilang
Culture nila.
respect kasi that's why they have to be up dun sa kanilang being as a person with respect kasi otherwise then they will not help that person kasi if that person is gambling or whatever, so you really need to move up also your personality to a higher level para masama ka dun sa kanilang iniisip na.
Exactly.
And it's another example, I don't know about you, in any place that I go in the Philippines, pag merong nagtitinda ng kunwari, puro prutas, ang daming nagko-compete sila sa isang lugar.
Yeah,
You will
actually,
pass by there.
alam ko na
You know what? Yun, napansin niyo yun, kung may nagtitinda ng walis, puro nagtitinda ng walis yung
Hindi,
tao na yun.
nakita ko yan eh, sa, parang ano yan eh, it has to do with the marketing eh.
Bandwagon effect.
Parang ano, kasi for
Join the
example,
bandwagon?
hindi ba,
Bandwagon.
para ka maging successful sa business mo, kailangan meron kang kakompetensya.
Kompetensya.
Okay.
Ha? Kasi kung wala kang kompetensya, nag-iisa ka lang, wala eh.
Walang comparison.
Why would people go to you? I mean, what are you up to? I mean, what's
What
your
they have that
kung talaga?
So yun ang talagang meaning
Oo.
ng bakit.
Katulad, okay, ganito lang yan eh. If there is a Martin Rivera, there has to be a Gary Valenciano. Otherwise, walang mangyayari kay Martin kung walang magtatapat sa kanya.
I see.
Kaya kami
Sa marketing
pag
strategy.
meron kami napasikat, nagkagad kami ng kakompetensya. Kung hindi ma-produce ang kalaban namin na kumpanya yung kompetensya, ako mismo ang gagawa ng kompetensya ng artist ko para mapag-usapan, magkaroon ng rivalry, magkaroon ng ano talaga.
Competition is good, in a way.
Interest sa kanila.
People will
Dahil,
talk.
you know,
Have a reason for people to
Pero
talk.
ito, yung binanggit mo sa business, yun na nga, nagtitinda ng gulay, lahat sila. Okay, yung automotive parts, di ba nauso yung Balawi? Nagbibili ka ng spare parts para sa kotse, sa Balawi ka pupunta. Dahil nandun lahat. So, ganun ang nangyayari. They all stay together. Kung nila, ano yung
specialty
nila. Kasi pag ikaw pumunta ka sa isang tindahan, titignan mo ngayon, ano meron dyan? Ay, mahal naman dito, baka meron ako makita mas maganda na iba pang, mas mura, whatever. So they will go to the next store. So kaya doon sila nagkaroon ng kind of power to be able to succeed.
Okay.
Because kung magkakahiwalay sila, wala pupunta sa kanya, wala ang kanya.
So competition, or
is
even to
pretty-
being working,
you compete
selling the same product.
healthy competition na tawag doon. Hindi sila nagsisiraan.
Uh-huh.
Nagtutulungan pa yan. Wala kaming ganito, punta ka sa ganito, doon sa kabila. Yan, nandiyan. That's how we should look at it.
Di ba nauso rito yung food
Food court.
park?
Food park.
Food park. Yung park, which is a lot, andun lahat yung mga
Pagkain.
iba-ibang restaurants. Kasi nga, I think for purposes of convenience and comfortability for customers,
nandun na lahat.
they go to one place, they have 20 choices of restaurants.
You have to just define it. Ano ito? Food? Ito, spare parts of kotse? Ito, mga gulay or whatever. So, practically, that's what they're doing now.
Pero yung sinasabi mo sir, yung namamatay, bakit namamatay? Andun yung unfair competition. Kasi yung apples mo at yung apples ko, binibenta mo ng 20 pesos, binibenta ko ng 18 pesos to. Eh ikaw, susunod anong gagawin mo? Bibenta mo ng 16 pesos.
No, okay.
Pababaan yan. Uy, wala na tayong kinikita. Kaya lahat sila lugi.
May nakita akong ganyan yung nagbebenta ng binenta niya ng mas mura. So yung katabi niya, binili niya yung mura at tinaas niya yung price kasi sila lang nagbebenta.
Correct.
May matalino yung binili niya yung mura niya. So sa ngayon, siya na lang ang nakakabenta ngayon at ginawa niyang kalahati ng price ng binibenta ng isa. So mautak din yung isa. Pero nakita ko kasi pag nagdadaan ako sa mga kalsada, yung hilahan sila, inihila nila yung tao. Dito ka.
Oh, yeah.
Parang nag-aaway sila
Yeah.
Parang nagpunta sa
Sa dampa.
Sa Sapa. Actually, before nila, naalala ko sa Bangkok.
Actually, Thailand. Yeah, they do that. They will pull you and try to buy their stuff.
Ginagawa namin nun.
Sa red light district.
Oh my God.
Ang dami.
Nahila ako.
Pero,
Okay dito. Ang gaganda ng mga girls dito ako pa binibigyan ng importansya rito. Samantalang doon sa iba, hindi masyado magaganda yung girls. Pero dito, ang gaganda nila lahat. Yung pala, puro lalaki.
Lady boy. May specialty nga. Going back to this.
Comedy.
Going back to this Filipino mentality compared yung kay Jane, nag-travel siya ako, nag-travel ako. Bakit itong silang mga Asian countries kamukha natin, they improve a lot of their things in their country. Korea siya, Vietnam siya, Thailand siya.
Alright.
Bakit tayo naiwan tayo nga nagturo sa kanila ng mga bagay.
Alright,
For
why is
example,
China very much developed? Singapore, they give importance to education. The kind of education that we need. Hindi yung education na nakagis na natin na hindi natin binabago up to now. Progressive education is what we need. Developing the curriculum, changing, not to develop but to change entirely. Then the
To adapt. To the changing
natin
times.
Sa education system, kinopya ang US, ginawa nilang grade 10, 9, naging magulo pa lalo yun.
Pero look at
In a way.
the ranking of the quality of top universities. Ang US is not on top.
Yeah.
Wala yan.
Ginaya pa yon ng Pilipinas.
Oo, yun ang ginagaya natin.
Ang problema pa, yun ang kinukomplain ng magulang. Nag-graduate siya ng grade 6, tapos mag-graduate ulit ng grade 8. Gagastos na naman sa graduation fee ng mga bata. So, yun ang nirereklamo ng ano, bakit ginawa? Tapos gusto daw nila para pag-graduate ng grade 8, meron na silang trabaho kung gusto nila magtrabaho. Yun nga ang high school graduate, college graduate, wala kang trabaho eh. So, that was their major push na para magkaroon ng extra additional education. Pero as we all know, the education system is also a scam.
Yes.
Hindi kasi tugma
It's
yung
It's a
concept
scam.
nila sa present situation. Like even the courses that we offer sa college ngayon, bibihira. Buti nga meron nang nag-focus din sa mga computers sa technology. Unlike before, wala pa yun, pero grabe na advances ng technology.
Yun na pag-iwanan.
Naiwan talaga tayo. Now, ito yung gusto kong i-point out na talagang pinakagrabe. Back in the 60s, we were the #1 institution in terms of rice production.
Yeah, I heard this.
Alam niyo yan?
Yeah.
International Rice Research Irrigation.
Yep.
Sa ano?
Dito nag-aaral mga Thailander.
Dito nag-aaral lahat yung mga Asian
Asian
countries
countries.
natin. Bakit tayo nag-i-import ngayon?
Sa Laguna, di ba?
Kasi sila yung nakapag-produce eh. Sila yung ginamit nila yung natutulan nila to a point where they were already exporting rice. Tayo, dapat nga tayo nag-e-export eh. Considering that we are an agricultural country, di ba? That's where the government medyo failed.
Doon na gano'n. Kasi yung pag-export or import, kinokontrol nila yung price. So that's another thing. Hoard nila yun eh.
True.
Kaya itong mga farmers ang nadali to.
Kawawa talaga yung farmers. Ako, farmers yung mga ninuno ko eh. Obviously hanggang ngayon.
Hindi ka mukha, sa US, yung mga farmers, makikita mo, they are progressive sa kanila.
Educating our people the right way. So let's
So
visualize. Yun na nga eh. So what are we going to do now? Yun ang tanong eh. Di ba? What are we going to do now? Number one is let's visualize the kind of Philippines that we want. We don't know eh. Exactly, we haven't visualized it. Ano ba talaga yung nakikita natin? Sa infrastructure, ano nakikita natin? Yung mga roads natin, ang liliit. I mean, we haven't developed yung mga super highways talaga na kailangan natin talaga. So what kind of things that we need to see now dito sa Philippines? Andiyan lahat yung mga plano natin. Bakit hindi pa nangyayari? Ngayon, dine-develop na pero sana, yun na. Andiyan yung mga subway na one. So what are we really now seeing in the entire Philippines, not only in Metro Manila? Yan ang tanong mo. What kind of a country? Well, when you speak of a country, you speak of its people. So practically, look at Singapore. What does Singapore have? It's a small place. Wala nga silang natural resources eh. Bakit sila ganun kaunlad? Tayo, we are very rich in natural resources.
Yeah.
But why are we like this? So, ang sabihin, meron tayong hindi ginagawang tama.
Well,
I think
okay. Ang nabasa ko kasi, when the leader of Singapore, Lee Kuan Yew, when he was elected, he went to look for different resources. Like for example, when it comes to industrialization, he copied Japan. When it comes to the transportation, he copied the US or something. So he picked up all of these good things of each country and applied it in his country. Yun ang ginawa. Yun ang pagkaalam ko kay
If
Lee
you
Kuan
will
Yew.
look at the kind of citizen or people that they have, intact ang culture ng India, the Indian culture. May Indian culture ang Singapore. Meron Chinese culture.
Yeah.
Meron Malaysian culture.
Uh-huh.
So ano pa ba yung yun, yung tatlong yun. Basically,
Yes.
Yeah.
they respect each other.
Mm.
They work together. Di ba? Hindi nag-aaway yung mga yan eh. sa Singapore. They have those kinds of businesses that we see flourishing.
Same thing in Malaysia po, Kuya Tats. They are also mixed with Indians, Chinese, and Muslims is 70%.
Muslim.
But yet they respect those those
Exactly.
culture that they.
We are
they're
rich
so
in that
nice.
kind of a blend of regional, I would say citizens.
Tsaka hindi sila nagtatapon ng may kakain sila ng tapos tatapon. Dito nakita ko yun eh.
Kasi ang ganda,
Tapon sila ng tapon.
ang ganda ng ano natin eh. We have the Ilocanos, the Visayas,
Tsaka walang umiihi doon sa tabi. Nakita mo may Jollibee doon. Ihihi pa sila sa pader. Hindi pumunta ng Jollibee doon sa
Kaya nga sabi nga ng mga foreigners eh.
My God.
You know, may mga foreigner friends ko eh. What does that mean? They all umay high. They all umay high. They all umay high. Bawal umihi.
Meron pang isang foreigner, nahanap niya yung lugar niya, yung girlfriend niya. Natatandaan niya yung lugar. Sabi niya, there used to be a street here. Sabi niya, the name is Baltumay. Sabi niya, bawal tumay. Baltumay Street. This is where I met the girl. Sabi niya, Baltumay siya ng Baltumay. Pero bawal tumay.
We are rich in natural resources. We are rich actually in cultural traditions. But we compromised everything because we were colonized. Kumbaga parang instead of adhering to what we are really are, we wanted to become somebody else or like pretend to be something else or somebody else.
Pero
Ako
pag
dalawa.
mga Pilipino po, pag dumipunta ng ibang bansa, they follow.
Oh.
They follow the rule. Pero pagdating dito, pagbalik na naman.
It boils back down to what you were saying earlier about leadership, di ba? Si Lee Kuan Yew kasi, during that time, talagang iron fist siya.
Yes.
But,
Respected.
yung pagka-iron fist niya was for the positive.
Hindi pumatay.
For the positive development.
Papatay siya kung kailangan patay.
Kung kailangan.
I mean, strict daw aron eh. Talagang bigay
Kaya,
ako bigay.
kaya ang Singapore noon, talagang, hindi ka pwedeng mag-chewing ka mo, itatapon mo, gano'n. Hindi ka pwede. Now, I think that's the kind of leader that we need here.
Okay. All right. Well, kanina, we are always talking about outside influences, the structure, people. All right. There's only one key to this change that we're talking about. The kind of change that we are really looking at, or what we want to see, or what we want to make happen, is the change that would come from within us. It's all within us. That's why we have to teach people about consciousness, about Kamalayan, because the only change that will happen is it will come from within each one of us.
Yung education,
Lahat lang yan. Wala talaga sa gobyerno yan. Pag hindi mo nabago yung bawat isa sa atin, walang mangyayari dyan. And the government would just want to control people. That's why they want to make them stay the way they are.
If I wanted to add, if I may, I want to
Yes,
add
yes,
something. Again, it goes back to respect to our leaders. Kung hindi naman kasi marirespeto yung leader at saka yung intention ng leader, hindi talaga para sa tao at para sa kanyang sarili lang, mahirap respetuhin po ng mga tao. So it really has to go back to, again, who are we electing? Are we electing people that are really for the people, or are they just, wanted to be in that position to enslave and not empower others?
Exactly.
But again, this is a good topic that we're talking about because we have to have that awareness. Like I learned so much sitting here in the past hour, these type of mentality, because these are the kind of things that I went through when I wrote the first book. Like I had to go within and figure out, why am I thinking like this? Right? And I had to go back to how I was brought up. How is my parents' thought process are? you know, how do they think? What was the culture like? So I went through the whole process of realization and awareness of what happened and how we get to this space. Now there would be second part, I'm sure, of this Kamalayan talk that would be a continuation of this talk, because I think the next topic would be, okay, this is where we're at. What can we do now? What can we do going forward? And this is the reason why we have Kuya Tato having these Kamalayan, which is consciousness seminar, and Kuya Rene, who is also doing seminar. So do you wanted to plug? You want to plug your Kamalayan session?
Yeah, we're here every Saturday, so feel free to come
So
here.
we're planning to have it Saturday or whatever. Kasi Thursday kasi medyo nahirapan si Ben.
Pag Thursday, they have work.
Okay, every Saturday, what's the address?
1 p.m. You can come
1
here.
p.m.?
12:30, 1 p.m.
12:30.
After lunch, para hindi na
Okay.
problema sa lunch.
Okay, so 12:30, 1 p.m. here at EDSA,
Lemon Square.
Lemon Square building. Okay,
Munoz Market. Okay.
all right.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. And we didn't capture the beginning or the introduction, so you wanna say who you are? Sorry. What's your name? What's your
I'm
background?
Tato Malay. I am actually the founder of the Kamalayan Movement. And I'm here to really uplift consciousness, this kind of awareness among us, so that we can really see the change that we want to see in people, in everyone. That's all.
All right. Thank you.
I-
All right, so
I
you
was
wanted to
expecting a lot of people for our session.
go ahead and Kuya
yeah,
Rene, you want to say something about, you
My
know?
name's Rene Austria.
Yes.
I do a lot of behavioral and attitudinal change initiatives. I would like to invite all of you for the inaugural presentation of the seminar we call Discarte Filipino.
Wow.
This is a particular seminar designed for every single Filipino across the economic strata, done in Tagalog, obviously, but also we can do this in English. And we've been doing this already since way back in the 90s, but for some reason it didn't prosper. Now we're holding one this coming December 7 and 8, or 8 and 9 yata, the weekend. It's going to happen at the Christ the King compound along E. Rodriguez Avenue in Quezon City. So that's something that you can attend with your family, of course, more specifically if you have a spouse or your children, and enjoy something that will help you get closer as a family or even as an organization if we're talking of groups. Definitely, this is something that will improve not just our thinking of being Filipinos, but more importantly is what can we do or I do as a citizen of the Philippines to uplift the kind of situation that we have today, considering all of these problems that we face every single day. That is something we can look forward to. We are enjoining you to
Is that
come.
for free?
Yeah,
How much?
How much?
That's 5,000 pesos per person. If you go with your spouse is free. That because we are espousing also the togetherness in the family.
Okay.
Now, if you come in groups, 5 plus 1, 1 is free. We also have an early bird discount of 500 pesos if you get to pay
Register,
before.
register.
Get to reserve November 16th or earlier.
Okay, so
That's
if you
something we can look
resonate
forward
with what we talked about today, then we will we want to invite you, and I'll put the information with this when I post this video. Thank you, Kuya Rene.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kuya Tato.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kap,
We
for
have also the
using.
location here that we're planning to have it here on Saturdays. So just we'll figure it out what date. Every Saturday or once a week, or how do we?
Yeah. Well, let's put it first at every Saturday.
Yeah. So what 12:30 or
12:30 or 1 o'clock.
1 or 1 o'clock.
12:30 so that
Yeah.
people can just
Yeah.
be late if they want to be late.
Filipino time. All right. Okay. So that's invitation for Saturday.
All right, sounds
All
good.
right.
Thank you, Kuya Tato. Thank you.
Okay.